Hey everybody, it's Dr. Volk. Last time on Andro Dunos, we destroyed an alien mothership and took out one of their mighty megaweapons in the asteroid belt. And in this episode, we finally made it to their secret base, and we're going to be taking them out. We're going to be destroying. We're going to finally shut down their operations once and for all. You know, if we don't die twice at the beginning of the stage, that might hinder my quest just a little bit. I like the music in this stage. It's really great. I think it's nice. It has a nice little calm ambient music vibe, but then it gets so intense and awesome. As it should. Ah, darn it! I don't like this. There are so many things. Gosh darn it. There are so many things in this game, and what? Okay, just died. And look, right in front of a 1-up too. Yeah, another useless 1-up. Like that's gonna do anything. See, it's already gone. 1-up's already gone. It was useless. Something I do not like about shoot-em-ups is that, and it's the entire thing with shoot-em-ups, that almost all of them, like at the very least when they get to the end, are, like they turn into bullet rain. And there's just so much stuff everywhere that they expect you to dodge. And sometimes, you know, when... I love how I say that and then I get killed by something that's just nothing. Just nothing to dodge there. But they put so much stuff on the screen and then they expect you to like say, ah, okay, now you gotta dodge all this and dodge all this. And it's awful. It's almost unbearable. And, yeah. One thing, at least Andro Dunos gives you a special cannon of some sort, whenever you game over. Like, when you start over, you just have this special cannon and you can use it. And I've learned that, you know, it's just best to use it right away after you respawn, because there's no point in trying to conserve it to use it on the powerful enemies, because you're just gonna die anyway. So you might as well make the most of it. Ow! And speaking of which, here is the boss. And I am not a fan of this boss at all. I've already brought it down to its second phase, which is pretty wild. I did not expect to do that. But the second phase is pretty much just like the first phase, except this time it doesn't switch places. In the first phase, it will do this 3 times and then switch spots from in front of you to behind you, and you do not want to destroy it. You don't want to finish that phase while it's behind you, because otherwise it's going to, because once it gets to the second phase, it never switches places again. It never switches places again. So if you destroy it while it's behind you, if you finish the first phase while it's behind you, you're stuck playing that with for the rest of the fight, so you have to use Type 2, which is, you know, it's okay if it's, like, powerful, but otherwise you're just shooting it with a little pea shooter, and it's not fun. So, now in this third phase, you want to just go ahead and, you know, of course dodge the blue laser things, but what's great about this stage is that aside from the blue lasers, there's a little safe spot for you right here. If you use Type 4 or something, or maybe even Type 3, but you don't have to worry about it. which is fantastic, which is why I always want to destroy it while it's in the front. And that's great, it's already done. This boss fight without the special hits is unbearable. It is so long, I hate it. It's that boss fight which makes you really wish that you had a pro controller. Because you're just constantly tapping the button, and the boss doesn't die any. Like, the health bar goes down so slowly. I hate it. It's so bad. What I do really like, though, is that we're in the core. Look at this. It kind of look at the background. It kind of reminds me of the Death Star corridor. Corridor. But anyway, this is wild. I absolutely love the music for this last stage. It's pretty intense, it's pretty happy, it gets you all pumped up, knowing that your journey is almost over. And I died. That's okay, that was expected. Notice how every time I game over, see, I'm at 5,000, but now I've restarted, so I'm 0. So, you know, that's why point culture made it continue such a big deal. Because, again, I don't know if it's called point culture, but I'm calling it that for the sake of ease. Make it easy to explain. When points were such a big deal, having to use a continue was like the worst thing you could do, because you lost all your progress essentially, and you have to start your entire score from 0. When you don't care about points though, like we don't now, we don't really care about points, so I can really just have fun with the game. If it was all about the points for me, I'd still be in level 1. It's wild. I couldn't beat this game if I had to use no continues. Because look at how much I'm dying just from these guys. I think I'm just being distracted, but these levels are getting harder. They really are. Ah! I didn't even get to shoot it off, but that's okay. We are here. Whoa, look at this laser! But it stops. Here we are, the core. And I tell you, this boss is way easier than that last boss. It is so much easier. This spot right here there are 2 spots that are safe from the laser, and you don't have to worry about it. It's the one furthest from the core and the one closest from the core. Closest to the core, I should say. And the one closest to the core is, of course, it's a bit riskier, because you won't have as much reaction time to deal with the enemies here. You won't have much reaction time to deal with the projectiles, not enemies, but, you know, I think it's probably best to just play it safe. This is a pretty easy boss anyway. It's way easier than that last boss. I'm gonna go a bit closer just so I can try something out. It's kind of almost pitiful how easy this boss is compared to the last one, because last one, there's like stuff flying everywhere, you gotta dodge a whole bunch of stuff, but this, not really. And honestly, it's a bit refreshing. At least refreshing to me. Some people might find this a bit, like, cheap, like, oh man, I want to be challenged, I want you to make me cry, so that when I beat you, it's so satisfying. But after you just went through that whole level, isn't it kind of a relief that this is like the only boss that doesn't just rain bullets down on you. I think it's nice. I think it's really refreshing. It's also really refreshing when you don't die like an idiot. Especially since those things were just gonna come and kill me anyway. There we go! And the super weapon, I didn't even have to wait till it opened. Which is very lucky, because otherwise I would have been really mad. So, that's it, right? Why am I not flying through? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We gotta escape the base now. Thankfully, there are no enemies in this portion of the level. You just kind of have to maneuver your ship to not die. Gotta hang back. But not in that part. That's like the only part where you have to like zoom forward, and I forgot about that. But so that's just kind of a cheap move, but for the rest of this game you can just hang back towards the back of the screen and you should be good. It makes this big deal, like, oh, you better escape the ship, it's gonna die, but it really is not that bad. It's not bad at all, especially compared to the rest of the game. I mean, it's not bad at all if you're actually paying attention to what you're doing, unlike me. And so, what's this? Oh my gosh, what's this? It looks like the sound of a boss montage! The true final boss. It's a brain in a little ship container. It's shaped like an alien motherhead. I don't know why, but I absolutely love the whole brain in a container joke. Not joke, but trope. I am a huge fan of it. I would not want to be a brain in a container. Technically we are already brains in containers, but you know what I mean. Ow! pain. So these bosses, of course this boss is surrounded by these lasers, and so you want to destroy the lasers so that you can actually get to the boss and start destroying it. It's gonna shoot around these bullets and then missiles, which are easy to dodge if you're actually paying attention, unlike me. I don't pay attention. And so because I don't pay attention, I'm going to go ahead and use the special for a third time and make it to the final phase of the boss fight. And now the brain looks like Zero from Kirby. It's going to shoot off those things twice, and then he's going to charge at you. And I mean, I think it's a he. Maybe it's a she, because usually with aliens, it's always a queen. There's always an alien queen. You never hear about an alien king unless it's like a warlord king. It's always a queen or an empress. Have you noticed that? I guess because they always think of aliens as like ants or like bees. So the pattern is actually really easy to get a hang of. Unless you know, you do that, unless you're an idiot. Let's just get off one final strike. Since the alien killed me anyway, I might as well. And that's Andro Dunos. It's a shame that there wasn't any, like, congratulations or cool little screen to show you what you did, to show you that what you did was actually worth it. Because, come on, just skipping to the credits, that's pretty dumb. I do like this font, though, and these colors. Presented by the Visco Corporation. That was fantastic. Please try the next stage. I will not try the next stage, but I will try the next game. Next time on Dr. Volk.